Hey, and welcome back to this focus here in the basics track. Today we're talking about assignments. And as I've said with my teaching techniques focus in the basics, there are many creative opportunities for the development of learning and assessment in our classes. So I'm not going to say in this assignments video that there's one assignment that trumps all others or that's better than all others. Assignments refer to any kind of assessment that we use to judge or assess a student's work in an as objective manner as possible. Typically, assignments are connected to grades. So someone takes a quiz is worth 30 points, and based on how many points they score, then that goes into the grade book at the end of the quarter. All that gets added up, and that is a, quote, grade. Of course, assignments are more complex than grades and refer to other things as well. They also vary with both the discipline and the modality of teaching. If you do a lot of demonstration or lab reports and you're somehow teaching in a DE format, you might discover that what worked in a face-to-face format in terms of those assignments will not work in DE and vice versa. So you really have to play with things and think about what assignments will work the best. Like with teaching techniques, I say regardless of the modality, try to vary up the assignments such that you can connect with different learners out there in terms of their abilities to comprehend material, work with it, and also be successful in terms of the final outcome of that assessment. Here are examples. This is not an exhaustive list, but what are some assignments you use? You probably use all of these or many of these. Quizzes, examinations, projects, presentations, written work, essays, worksheets, problem solving, experiments, lab manual work, portfolio, and many others. Many of these are also available. You'll find a list of these, very comprehensive list, on your SLO record, your student learning outcome record, on the curriculum record for each of your classes in the eLumen program. Here's a tip. Don't be afraid of trying out new assignments. If they don't work one term, just like with a pedagogical technique, replace it in the next term with a different assignment. If the comprehension, if the grades were really low on a particular assignment, it's not just necessarily the assignment that's the culprit. Maybe a combination of teaching that particular bit of content and a new type of assignment or a tweaked assignment of the same type could result in better comprehension and better student success the next time around. Another tip is to rely on your fellow faculty for help with creating assignments or discovering resources for assignment content. Many of us have done this so many times. Even though I teach anthropology, I can have a conversation with you in a different discipline talking about how to create a quiz, how to create an exam, and so forth. Another tip is it may not be best to rely too heavily on pre-made assignments. There might be typos. The material may not reflect your personality and approach to teaching the content to your students. I'm referring here specifically to pre-made tests and quiz banks that you discover on some of the publisher websites. Some of these are indeed quite good. I've actually authored quite a few of these for McGraw-Hill in the past, but some may have typos or may not cover the areas you want to cover. If you're really hitting one subsection of a text or a section of a class heavily, and the quiz and exams test students on something in a different section of that book, that doesn't really sort of correlate or match up well in terms of what you're lecturing on or covering in your teaching and what the assignment is assessing them on. So there should be probably some correlation between the assignment and how you're teaching that class as a tip as well. So good luck. I'll certainly be back with future videos about assignments and other topics here in our LTCC Teaching and Learning Onboarding Experience.